Back once again, second day in a row, outside. I call it the Diddy Courthouse, 500 Pearl Street. We were here yesterday. Today is decision day. Diddy could walk out of jail today. It's very possible. Diddy wants to go home. Motion 29. Diddy could go home today, people, okay? I'm gonna wait for people to load in here. Diddy could walk out of jail today. Just give it a second, let people load in. As you guys know, of course, I got my trusty Starbucks. Welcome back to NYC, Trent Out Loud. They were like, hey, what's up? What's up, Trent? Yo, you want a double smoke bacon? I was like, nah, I'm good. All right, now people are here. What up, what up, what up? Tez, what up? Melva's in the building. Brandon's in the building. What up, what up? Hello, hello. Let me take a sip. I had to organize everything. Tiffany. Mary's here, Peg is here, Robin's here, Pamela's here, Audrey's here. What's up? Woo! I miss my Starbucks, yo. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. Everybody have their coffee ready? Well, it's 9:15. I'm sure some of you already have had your coffee, but get a second cup. Trent Out Loud Live is here. Get your cup of coffee ready. We got some things to talk about. We got some things to talk about. Audrey said, Trent looking sharp. Thank you very, very much. I just want to get in. Newcomer from Mississippi. What's up, Michelle? Welcome, welcome. Out Louders, we're welcoming you. Guys, I'm going to get, Melva says, great morning, Out Louders. Guys, I want to start off by telling you, we're going to get to some information. I want to start off by telling you, yo, the block is hot. People are out here. The tents are back out. CNN is here. TMZ is here. ABC is here. Yesterday, I was the only one here, and it was very quiet. Word on the street was the judge was not super impressed with some of the things that were going on, and the word around town was, yo, I'm not even going to show up tomorrow. I did hear a confirmation from somebody in legacy media, I won't say the station, decided to pull out and not even show up. Today, everybody is here. I have some information and some scoop on why more people decided to show up today. I don't know, maybe some people are watching my lives and, got some Trent Out Loud exclusives and they decided, all right, let me show up if Trent's gonna be here. And, I dropped some information. Yeah, I dropped some tea yesterday. For those of you who did not catch yesterday's live, make sure you catch and get caught up with that, okay? All right, most people are in here now. Drop your questions in. I'm gonna give you guys some updates and things that I've been hearing. And then as always, I'll take questions and I'll get to the comment section, okay? Woo! I missed this Starbucks over here in Manhattan is just good, man. Okay. What's up, bro? You good? Good, brother. Okay, guys, let's get this show underway. Court starts today at 11. I was already inside, spoke with some people, so I'm gonna maybe get to around 10 o'clock. So I wanna make sure that, I need to be right front and center. I need to be up there with Diddy's crew, his mom, and all that stuff. Last time, or the whole trial, they had the new media on Diddy's side and legacy media kind of on the prosecution side. It's good, though, because you can get, develop some relationships and stuff, right? That's how I get you guys the tea, all right? Everybody's already saying free Prof. Pam said, we love you, Trent. Thank you. Love your hair, looking good. Beth, thank you, appreciate that. I said yesterday I can't take credit for it. It's the first time I've done 6 braids, but somebody suggested it, so I can't take all the credit. But I love that. Hit the like button, Out Louders. Yeah, there's also the link below to sign up for membership, so we'll talk about that later. Somebody said, love the glasses. Thank you. Yo, quick story. When I was in LA for the Tory Lanez trial, I was out with somebody on Rodeo Drive, and somebody saw me and they're like, oh gosh, you're Trent Out Loud. I was like, yo, what's up? And he's like, yo, man, I watched you every day during the Diddy trial. You're one of my favorite content creator. And he's like, yo, I love the specs every day you had different glasses on. So I'm happy to have been known for the different glasses that I bring out. All right, let's get to business, all right? I know y'all people are here for some information. Okay, I want to go over quickly the massive sentencing document that Diddy's team sent out. I posted some parts of it. I also posted Young Miami's letter, one of the first content creators to post that up. I kind of touched on it yesterday of the effect that had on the judge today. A lot of people are a little bit confused. There's two separate things. Today, the judge should be ruling on motion 29. Like I said, there's some whispers that he might not rule today. He's frustrated. There's a lot of kind of different things going on, but today is not sentencing. Today is ruling on motion 29. And the reason why Diddy and his team for today is a more exciting day for him and his team is that the judge could rule, if he wants to put his decision down today, and throw out the entire Mann Act, the two Mann Acts, the charges. That's what he wants thrown out. Like I was saying yesterday, Diddy doesn't want just to go home. Diddy wants a clean and clear record, and that could happen today, okay? So at 11 o'clock it will start. I'll be there front and center right in front of the judge. But I wanted to go and let you guys know everything that was in this document. Then we will talk about motion 29 and what Diddy's lawyers are going to say today to the judge and present to the judge. And then I'll let you know something about the Mann Act, and then we'll go to the comment section, all right? So that's what we're going to with today. So it was 180 something pages, and it broke down the entire case. And basically, in conclusion, Diddy's team today, for sentencing, I just told you guys don't get mixed up, and I just got mixed up. So at sentencing, Diddy's team is trying to say, in this 160-page document, at the end of the day, this all boils down to freak-offs, orgies. That's all Diddy was doing. That's all the prosecution presented, is that Diddy likes to have freak-offs. Diddy likes to have threesomes. Diddy likes to have these kind of parties, right? That's again, I know, just to preface, some of you might disagree. Some of you think that it was RICO. Some of you think it was forced fraud and coercion, but we have to put that aside because we're in court. We could talk about it another day. Here, we just have to talk about the facts. Hey, there's Brian Steele coming in right now. Okay, I'm gonna just give you guys some excuses. You're gonna see Brian Steele walking in right now on the camera. Hold on. He just came around and waved to me. You're gonna see him 1 second. Oh, he's probably stopping for an interview. Where is he? See, there he is. There is the man. Brian Steele, that's Young Thug's lawyer. And of course, Diddy's lawyer, okay? There is Brian. I will speak to him inside. All right. Oh, somebody gave me a super chat. Thank you very, very, very much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Y'all know I need some money for my coffees. So by the way, also too, while I'm showing you guys see all the tents out there? See all the tents? That's CNN, ABC, NBC. That's all legacy media. I was standing right there yesterday because that's where I record at lunchtime or after. And I showed you guys yesterday, there was nobody there. Everybody was like, nothing is happening today, nothing is happening today because of the sentencing talk and the sentencing brief. Something happened, I'll tell you guys about it. Something happened and now everybody is here. And word on the street is that the judge might make a rule, but there's also people saying that he might not, right? This is what we do. Nobody knows, but we have to do our best to try to find out and speak to people. But I'll save that to the end. Okay. So yes, basically they're trying to say in this document, at the end of the day, he was found guilty of the Mann Act. That's basically orgies. That's the tone of the document, okay? And for that, they would like for him to be convicted with a small, with a light sentence. They're trying to convince the judge. Like I said to you yesterday, the judge is able to look at everything at the case during the case that was presented. So the judge is able to say, hey, I heard what Kid Cudi said about his car on fire. I heard about somebody getting hung over the balcony. I heard all of this or whatever. The judge is privy to say, I heard all these things, Jane Doe, etc. There's another one that did these lawyers. All right, people are starting to come in now. Okay, here we go. Dude, there's a vibe out here right now. I'm telling you, there's a vibe right now. I feel like there might be something happening today. There's a lot of people, man. A lot of people that told me they weren't going to be here are pulling up right now. I feel like Diddy's lawyers know something. Because apparently from what I heard, that his whole publicist team wasn't going to be here and all of his lawyers, and now I've seen every single one. Anyways, sorry guys that I'm getting distracted, but this is live, right? Okay, so his lawyers are saying, look, Judge, I know that you have the power to listen to all of these things and Cassie and Jane or whatever, but at the end of the day, the Mann Act is prostitution across state lines, orgies. Judge, we really want you to focus on that. And so they want to remind the judge that he was not found guilty of any major crimes. This is what Diddy's team is going to try, has already tried Again, it's only October the 3rd, but he got the package 2 or 3 days ago, and so did everybody in the media, and it's caused a firestorm. And I think this is kind of like what has put a damper on yesterday, but maybe he has changed his mind today, okay? So in this sentencing package, Diddy's lawyers are asking for 14 months. Again, hey, this is just orgies, this is just freak-offs. We want 14 months. We don't want to hear anything about what the prosecution is saying. The prosecution is asking for 4 to 5 years. He's saying, listen, Your Honor, respectfully, 5 years for a man to be put in jail after being convicted of the Mann Act. And again, the Mann Act is literally is not force, fraud, and coercion. It's literally calling somebody in Atlanta, like I'm in New York City right now. Imagine I call a girl in Philly and I'm like, hey, yes, she's a prostitute, which is illegal, but I'm like, yo, come and see me today, and I pay her. I could be charged with a Mann Act and be put in jail for 5 years. That is crazy work. That's just crazy work. I don't care how much you hate Diddy or whatever. That is just crazy work to ask for a man to be put in jail for 4 to 5 years. So this is what Diddy's team put in this 160-page document. Of course, I'm summing it up very quickly for you guys, but that is what the document has said. Again, in between that document being released and the judge getting it and the media getting it, something shifted with today, and now it shifted back. We'll try to figure that out for you. So just to break down the 14 months, he's technically been in jail right now for 13 months. But he gets 15% credit for time served. So them asking for 14 months means that they're asking the judge to let him out October the 3rd. Again, if he doesn't get let out today, which I'm gonna get to, okay? They're also, which is also something very important, they're also asking the judge, please, because we want to be transparent with you, we will, if you do let him out, you can have supervised release, meaning that he'll wear, I don't know if it means that he'll wear an ankle monitor, but it will be supervised release. He'll have to check in with a probation officer. Maybe somebody might be there. Remember, he asked that for bail. I'll have, somebody that stays and watches me over 24 hours. Of course, at the end of the day, he just wants to be let out of jail, right? So there's that. They're asking for 14 months, which is really 13 months with a 15% credit, and that means that he will get out October the 3rd, okay? So that is the document. Now, let's go to today. We want to talk about today. Today, some outlets have been talking that they heard that the judge is open to doing this, but then last week and earlier this week, something shifted. I mentioned that. I heard the same thing. I told you guys there's a lot of hype around today. The judge could be making a decision. The judge has already thrown out charges on a person under Motion 29, meaning, and I gave you guys that yesterday, but Motion 29 is, hey, Your Honor, the prosecution didn't meet their burden of proof, and they did not show enough evidence. This shouldn't even go to the jury. It shouldn't go into sentencing. You have the power as a judge. We would want this completely thrown out. That is what they're going to say today. That is what today is about, okay? Just to reiterate, I know it's confusing. October the 3rd, what we just talked about is his sentencing. If you don't throw it out today, at sentencing, we just want to tell you now, we are asking for 14 months. Maybe that asking for the 14 month, maybe that kind of messed up today. We don't know. We'll find out soon. Gosh, it's starting to rain a little bit harder here. Sorry, let me go under. All right, so that is what they're asking for today. Okay, so let me tell you why they want it thrown out, okay? They're saying what Diddy did is he did hire male escorts, but their whole thing is he didn't hire male escorts for himself. He hired them for his girlfriends. So that's what they're gonna say today. Yes, we know you guys presented the credit cards, the receipts, the text messages. Yes, we're not denying that. We are not denying that Diddy paid male escorts to come. But they were there for his girlfriends, not for him. So if anything, talk to his girlfriends. Why are you holding me? And that's why they want that thrown out. Now, if you remember, this is something key, and somebody told me this to remind you, the listeners. If you remember during the trial, Cassie and Jane Doe both said they developed a relationship with the male escorts. Jane said that she saw one of them in LA by herself. They had a communication. She said he made her feel like she's never felt before. So let's say Diddy was the one to introduce them to to Jane and Cassie. But now Cassie builds up a relationship, and when they're ready to do a freak off, she's like, oh, I would like this guy, I would like that guy. Isn't that proof, and that's what the lawyers are gonna say today, here is proof that yes, maybe, Diddy was the one who kind of like came up with the idea of the freak offs or whatever, but these guys weren't for him. Every single male escort that came and testified, not one of them said that they did anything with Diddy. Nothing. The only time, this is a little gross, but the only time that we have any sort of testimony about the escorts and with Diddy was the one time Cassie said that she took one of the male escorts thing, the CUM, and went into a separate room with Diddy and put it on his nipples. That was it. Nobody said that he ever touched them, that he ever had sex with them at all. So that's all in civil cases. Everybody thinks like Diddy is homosexual and this or whatever. There was nobody that testified that. And again, we cannot concentrate or even think about civil cases right now. Civil cases have a much lower burden of proof. You could say anything you want in a civil case. In a federal case, it's much different. So under oath, no male escort testified that they ever did anything with Diddy. This is what Diddy's team and this is what Diddy's lawyers are going to tell this judge here at 11 o'clock. They're going to say, yes, there were escorts, but they were not for him. They were for his girlfriends. Now, to be fair, I'm going to talk to you what the prosecution is going to say. The prosecution is going to say, okay, we understand that he did not touch them, but it is for his pleasure because Diddy, and even in the freak off tapes that the jury got to see, Diddy was pleasuring himself. So again, that blurs the line. He maybe not have had any penetration with these male escorts, but him sitting down, was it for his pleasure? What is pleasure? Is pleasure has to be intercourse, or could pleasure be the fact that he paid them for that? Again, this is what Diddy's team is trying to fight, and this is what Diddy's team is going to say today, and the judge will have to rule that. What is the Mann Act? What is a violation of the Mann Act? Oh my gosh, my stuff is getting really dirty here. And that's what the discussion about. What is the Mann Act? Now, let's talk about the Mann Act very quickly. The judge also has to consider that the Mann Act is an old racist law that was invented to stop black men from dating white women and taking them over state lines. It was in 1920, and you could Google that. I'm sure most of you who have been following daily know, but any new viewers, Google the Mann Act, how it originated, and there's already been two famous black people that have been convicted of this. Jack Johnson, who's a boxer, and Chuck Berry, who I'm sure you know, or ask your parents who Chuck Berry is, okay? So Chuck Berry has been convicted of this. So it was an old law created to stop black men from dating white women and taking them out of their state. Again, in the actual criminal code of the Mann Act, prostitution, oh my gosh, it's raining hard now. Prostitution is a woman that is married to somebody, leaves her husband, crosses state lines to go have sex with somebody else. That is the violation of the Mann Act. Now, it's 2025. Maureen Comey, who has been fired, led this case and tried to charge Diddy with RICO, which she was not successful at. The jury unanimously said not guilty under RICO. SEX trafficking under force, fraud, and coercion, not guilty. And the only thing that he was found guilty of was a violation of the Mann Act. And today, his lawyers are going to try to argue that Diddy did not violate the Mann Act because A, it's an old racist law, B, it's when they created that law, their definition of prostitution was a married woman that left her husband and had or got paid for sex with somebody else, and it was an old racist law. That is what the judge is going to have to decide on today. And then what I already told you of the fact of he didn't actually have sex with them. If it's written in the law that there has to be sex, does sitting down on a chair, pleasuring yourself, or looking, or even videotaping, does that constitute pleasure? Like, who is the person that's supposed to decide that? Obviously, we know it's the judge, but I don't know. If you ask me, it sounds like it's too much of a gray area, and this is why there is so much hype around today. And for those of you who missed it yesterday, the real win for Diddy, what's up? The real win for Diddy will be if his lawyers are successful convincing the judge of this, then he will get off scot-free. he will have no charges. He will be not guilty under RICO, not guilty on 2 SEX force, fraud, and coercions, and then the Mann Act will be thrown away. Diddy, after today, could come out unscathed, and he will walk right out of that courtroom. Well, actually, they'll still take him to NDC and then MDC and then release him. He can come out of this. That's what he wants. I started off by telling you about the sentencing packaging and, you know, young Miami's lawyer and his mom's and all that stuff. He doesn't want that. Diddy is a billionaire. Diddy wants to get back into, well, he wants to get back to his family, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But y'all know Diddy, man. Diddy is a money man. Diddy wants to get back to doing what Diddy does. And he will have a hard time getting back to doing what he does if he is convicted October the 3rd. Even if he goes home, he's still gonna have that on his record. He's gonna be on probation. Look at Young Thug, who was Brian Steele's lawyer. Young Thug, yes, got off technically, but he still had to plead guilty. He can't go to Atlanta for 15 years. There are certain things he can't do. He has to report in. You think Diddy wants to be reporting to somebody? This is Diddy. I know Young Thug is Young Thug, but this is Diddy. I mean, this guy has been, doing whatever he wants for the past 20 years. Now, I know that's what pisses some of you off and you don't want him to do this, but if you listen, when I get off of this, go back and rewind and just listen to what I told you about the Mann Act. A, why it was created. B, who it was used on. And 3, the language in the Mann Act for you to be convicted. A wife, married, leaving, crossing state lines to have SEX, paid SEX with somebody. This is 2025. These were male escorts that came from Philly, that came from Atlanta, that came from LA, got onto a plane. In 2010, crossing state lines was a big thing. Yeah, I cross state lines a couple of times a week. I'm sure most of you do too. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a law from 2010 that was, I was about to say conjured up. It's not conjured up because it is a law, but this is something that Maureen Comey and her team found that was like, let's charge him with this. And if you go back and look at the last, I think, 10 people, his lawyers have sent this already to the judge too, and I have copies of it. The last 10 or 15 people that have got charged with this act, they didn't have anywhere near 4 or 5 years or anywhere near 3 months. It's like probation. You know what I mean? So it's just, I understand the Cassie video, and I'm not saying Diddy's a good person. Anybody who's been following me for this whole time, look, Diddy has done some really, really bad things, but you have to think if this was your brother, your sister, your friend, your whatever, your boss, the federal government had their time in court. They had the full support of the justice system, spent millions of dollars, interviewed thousands of people. Every single person that has a civil case against Diddy that you believe, the federal government went through it, and they chose not to take anything from those federal cases. They chose to go ahead with Cassie, Jane Doe, and victim number 3, who we all know who it is, I will not say. And she decided not to show up. And victim number 3, actually put in a support letter. All right? She actually liked my post yesterday about Diddy in the correctional facility, the MDC people saying that he's such a model prisoner. So you gotta see the shift. We all know last year, we all thought, me too, oh my gosh, the celebrities, the KID, everybody thought all of this stuff about Diddy. We saw the Cassie video, and I was like, yo, this guy's going to jail for life. Then we heard all of the civil cases. You have to listen and look at the facts that the law has presented to you. And that is why the jury found Diddy not guilty for RICO and force, fraud, and coercion. SEX, force, fraud, and coercion. And they only found him guilty for the Mann Act. And Diddy's lawyers, if you ask me, they have a very good opportunity today to present that case. I feel like I just did a good job. You know what I'm saying? Like, put me in front of there, I'll convince the judge. Because, again, I don't think Diddy is a model citizen. I don't think that, he has done good to a lot of people. But that is not what he's on trial for. That is a state case. What he did to Cassie, I think there shouldn't be a statute of limitation. I think that video was out there, that exists. You shouldn't be able to say, well, it was 2016, so, it's past the statute of limitation. Why do we have statute of limitations on this? You saw what he did to her? That should be a state case, and he should be inside for that. I don't make the laws. You got to talk to your governors, you got to talk to your mayors, you got to talk to the people who make the laws. I don't make the laws. So unfortunately, the judge, either today or tomorrow, cannot send Diddy to jail because of what he saw on that Cassie video. And it will be up to Diddy's, what's up? It will be up to Diddy's team to decide how far they want to push today, because they also have to worry about dealing with next week. And that is what is the fine line here, is depending on how hard they push today, it could push the judge to a point where he's like, all right, you know what, I was gonna give him the 14 months, but y'all want to go this far? You want to accuse me of, backing a racist law? You want to back me? Like, it depends. Like, we're human, right? This is not Chat GPT. You're not. Sorry, I got so caught up in talking. I'm going to go to the comment section in 1 second, because this is what I want to say. You're dealing with a human being. With juries, you're dealing with a human being. The prosecution, I feel like that's where they lost the case, because they were very technical and very cold with the jury. They felt like they were entering in. Diddy's team came out and spoke like a real person, and they spoke to real people, and that's how they were able to beat this case. And that's why I feel like I feel like Diddy has a chance today, because his lawyers are good, because they speak to people on a human level. Today, in an hour and a half or an hour and 20 minutes, they'll have an opportunity to present what I just presented to you about the Mann Act. They cannot push too hard, because that judge has a big decision to make next week, Thursday. And I've been in the courtroom, and I've seen when they pushed him to some points. And remember, there's even one time where he shut down the court and he just got so upset. He's like, we're done for today. Like, he's a very cool judge, but it's a delicate line that they have to walk today. Like I said, yesterday something happened and everybody was like, nothing's gonna happen, don't show up. The judge is not even gonna make a decision. He's frustrated, he doesn't know that, whatever. Today, everybody is here. It's chaos over there. Diddy has an opportunity to get out today. He has an opportunity, but his lawyers cannot go too far. His lawyers have to walk a delicate line, because at the end of the day, I know Diddy wants to go home today, and I know he wants to get out of this. Could you imagine Diddy gets out of this with 0 charges? Just think about Diddy. It will be crazy. It will be pandemonium. These streets will be nuts if Diddy is let out today. And that's why people don't want him to get let out. They don't want to see him continually winning. Even if they don't like him, you don't want to see somebody continuously win for 20 or 30 years. But that's not what the judge is paid to do. The judge is paid to look at the facts. So I know Diddy wants to get off with 0 charges, but it's a fine line that they have to walk today, because at the end of the day, Diddy doesn't want to spend the next 4 or 5 years in jail. So they have to be very, very careful, all right? All right, so that was it. That's my 30 minutes. Let me go to the comment section. Whatever questions you guys have, I'll try to answer them as best as I can. And then I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna sound for another maybe like 20 minutes, okay? The block is hot. Jay Jackson said the block is hot. Somebody said free Diddy. Hold on, let me scroll up and make sure. Hold on. Can I take a break for a second? Was that good, guys? I gave you guys some good information, some good insight. Think I could be a lawyer? If you didn't know anything about the case and I just presented that to you about the Mann Act, would you convict him? Would you, if you were the judge, would you throw it out? I mean, it's crazy. 1910? This is 120 years ago. It's crazy work. Anyways, all right, let me see some questions here. Flory said she got her coffee and honey. That's hilarious. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I'm dyslexic. Tasha said, so it's about to go down, brother. Elizabeth, throw me. Okay, good much. Okay, these are all good mornings. Good morning. The block is hot. The block is hot from Diddy. Free Diddy. Free Diddy. Today is hopeful. Northside Jamaica Queens in the house. Bam, 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 bam. Shout out to Brandon, Northside Jamaica Queens. My aunt lives in Queens, Southside Jamaica. I love being in New York and seeing Jamaica. As a Jamaican, that's amazing. Best patty and cocoa bread too over there. Somebody said you got your Starbucks. Free Diddy until it's backwards. Free Diddy. Diddy deserves lifetime. My comment section is split. I got put him away for life, and then I got free Diddy. That's what I love, though. That's the community that we're building here. When I get off, the link will be below. Sign up to our memberships. We're building an Out Louder community. Somebody, Tess said, are you on the list? Yo, I'm in the courtroom, Tess. You know how I get down. You know how I get down. I'll be right there, front and center, yo, front and center. I want Diddy, I like when I come in that Diddy sees me. He sees me every day. Well, every day when in court, he say, yo, what's up, what up? Like he knows I'm there. He knows I'm reporting. I like that. I like his lawyers to know. I like the judge to know, like I'm serious, I'm here reporting. They all know us. They all have our names. They all see our content. They know who we are. And I like to let them know that I am serious. I'm here on time and I'm in the courtroom every day. And they saw me here yesterday. They were like, what? A lot of people canceled. I'm like, no, I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm dedicated to this case to bring you guys the latest. So yes, I am here and I am ready to work. Somebody says shout out to Franny. Oh, Fanny. Oh, that's my my hairstylist. Shout out to Fanny. If he gets out, he'll be up to no good in no time. All right, I said that yesterday. I totally disagree. I think Diddy learned a lot from this case. If you've ever known anybody that's been inside, you don't have to spend 10 years inside to realize that you don't like being inside. And Diddy is not in a normal jail. Diddy is in MDC. That place is no joke. I know somebody that has been in there. That place is no joke. It's hot in the summer and cold in the winter. There's people that have been unalive there. For somebody like Diddy, in billionaire status and having everything that he wants, when he comes to this courtroom today, he's shackled. Every day he was shackled. You would hear him behind the doors. You would hear him like walk up. The door would be closed. We wouldn't see him. You would hear the chains drop. And then he would walk out. He's been a prisoner for 14 years. You're talking about Sean Diddy Combs. Trust me, Diddy has learned his lesson and he's not coming out to do nothing. I can guarantee you that. Diddy is about his money. He lost close to $500 million on this case and things that he had to divest and do. Trust me, I'm not saying like he was going to be a model citizen, but you're not going to see Diddy in any sort of issues or any sort of whatever. And people are like, oh, the people, you know, he's going to get revenge and do all of that stuff. Yo, if Diddy wants revenge, he could get people touched from in jail. All right, there's GANG members in every jail across the world right now running the streets. Okay, so if you know anything about jail, you don't have to be outside to be able to get somebody touched. So, you know, I don't like that. I don't agree with that at all. Somebody said, finally, go Trent, it's 9:25, don't stay outside. Yeah, well, normally court starts at 9, so I get here like super early, but they're starting at 11 today, so I'm happy. Hold on, let me see. I'm waiting to see if his mom is always here. I want to give you guys a little glimpse. Anyways, thank you, Trent, for the work. I appreciate you, Matt. Thank you. That's ordered for your, what? They were ordered for himself to get off. Sorry, Melva, I don't know what that is. Melva, that part. Melva said something, but I missed it. Okay, there's so many comments, I'm missing them. You need to sit and think about all of this stuff. He needs 10 years. Hey, Renee Johnson, I respect everyone's opinion. I would like for you to tell me why you think Diddy deserves 10 years. What did the prosecution show to you beyond a reasonable doubt? Not what you think, not what your mama thinks, not what somebody told you in a civil case. I would like to know, what did the prosecution present to you beyond a reasonable doubt, that makes you feel like Diddy should be in jail for 10 years? I would like to know. Nadine, okay, here. What about the child stuff? You see, this is what I'm saying. There was nothing with KIDs, nothing. This is the federal government. If there was something with that, we would know. So you have to stop that. We have to stop that as a society. That is not fair. There is no proof of that. And if somebody would say those things about you or somebody who you love or somebody who you know, you wouldn't like that either. Just because somebody said that online, where's the proof? Where are the receipts? This is the federal government of the United States of America. One of the most powerful legal systems in the entire world. You trying to tell me if somebody had some evidence like that they would not have found it? Maureen Comey wants to put Sean Diddy Combs in jail for the rest of his life. If there was any sort of evidence about anything with KIDs or anything else that are in these civil cases, trust me, the United States government would have had it. They would have presented it to that jury, and Diddy would be in jail for the rest of his life. For the rest of his life. That is not how court goes. What's up, man? You good? Huh? I'm sure they're going to be open. For sure. Yeah, I'm going to be in like 20 minutes. I was already inside. All right, brother. Hold on. He needs to go. Okay, wow, you guys are commenting today. Somebody said you're so cute. Skyline, thank you. Wow. Okay, comment section is blowing up. Okay, the people who want him locked up nor let. Okay, I'm at the top. I got to scroll down because I can't read because it keeps pushing it up. All right, Olympus said Sean Combs will not be released. He will remain in custody and be in prison. The judge denies the case with no charge in assistant community service. Okay, how do you know that? I'm right outside here. What are you talking about? Like, you even. I'm reading this here, and people are like, "What's going on?" No, this is people. No, this is people in the comment section. This people at home think they know everything. You guys just had me people shook out here. They thought I was reading like a headline, and we were like, "What is going on?" Yeah, I saw you. No, that's just people in the chat, yo. Somebody said you speak like this. Okay, you guys are hilarious in the comment section. Kim, what up? What up, Kim? You guys see anybody that has a blue star beside their name? Those are the members. Shout out to all the Trent Out Loud members, the Out Louders. Jay Jackson said, looking good, Trent. Thank you very much. Kim. Okay, I got to scroll down. Sorry if I'm missing some of your stuff. Somebody said, Crystal said, Trent, you can be a lawyer. Thank you. You can be my lawyer. I'll be a lawyer anytime, man. Trent, you badass. Thank you very much. It's not legal to be a freak. That's all I'm saying, yo. Show me the evidence, bro. Like, show me the evidence. Joe said, you're criminals. You're sitting with his family again. No, let me just make it clear. I'm not sitting with his family. The first rows are for his family, and the lawyer is kind of like the apprentices or whatever. And then the third row is at where we sit. But I'm always first. I'm always like, well, not first, but I'm at like first, second, or third or whatever. So I sit right in the first bench behind them. It's like class. I want everybody to know that I'm right front and center. So because of that, I get to be right behind them. But like I told you guys, they close off the whole floor. It's on the highest floor, the 26th floor. They close off the floor. So whenever there's a break, it's just us going outside if there is a break. So you end up just talking to people, right? Like you're going into the bathroom, like Diddy's kids going to the bathroom. There's moms going to the bathroom. So you're there for a month and a half with people. You end up having relationships with them. And you go to the cafeteria and it's just us, right? So I was able to speak to all Diddy's legal team, and they're not not able to tell me everything, you know what I mean? Especially Diddy's legal team. It's hey, how are you, whatever, blah blah blah. They can't say anything about the case, but you know, you still could like build up relationships and the TMZ, whatever. Like it's cool. Like we became like a little bit of a family. Even the prosecution and the defense team, they're going head to head, but they're all friends. They're lawyers, right? They're going at each other, but Maureen Comey and them, will they be shaking hands? They'll be laughing and talking. The prosecution really didn't talk to new media that much or any sort of media, but all of Diddy's team was very, very nice to all the media that was there. I hope the judge puts him away for at least 15 years. Don't let him get away like Epstein. I respect your opinion. I disagree. I would like to know why. Again, not your feelings, not what you thought about the civil cases. If you ask me, those civil cases really, really messed up everyone's perception of this case. You know, even me, when I first started in reporting about this, I obviously did say, hey, this is civil, this is alleged, you can't see. But even me, I was like, yo, it's over for him. I'm like, this is a wrap. You know, and as the case started and we started seeing, you know, Cassie, we started seeing the evidence come out, we were like, where are the KIDs? Where is this? Where is this? Where is this? Where's all these things? And that's when he started gaining momentum. You're just like, what are you showing me here? Where is it? And the feds are the feds, man. So, hey. Okay, let me scroll down. Somebody said excellent reporting. Sheila, thank you very much. Cheryl said, Diddy should be put away for life. However, these charges, he will be free with time served. There you go. That is a sentence. You could say Diddy should be away for life, but because of these charges and what he's found guilty for, he should get off on time served. That sentence I could agree with. I could totally get down with that. What about the sentencing? So today, if you came late, today is not the sentencing. The sentencing is still going to be October the 3rd. Next week, we will be here again. I'll be here the day before. I'll be here the day of, and I'll tell you, after the court case. Today, the judge will rule, hopefully, if he's in a good mood, if Diddy's lawyers could do their thing, he will rule on Motion 29, and Motion 29 is getting the Mann Act charges completely thrown out. And I already broke down, after I get off here, you can rewind, I broke down why Diddy's team thinks these charges should never have been brought. The prosecution did not meet the burden of proof, and they want the judge to just completely throw it all out. It is an old racist crime set up to keep black men from transporting white women across state lines. And Diddy hired escorts for his girlfriends and never had sex for them. And if you listen to those facts, you understand why the entire media world is out here, because they have an argument. They have an argument. And oh, one thing I didn't say, I forgot to say this. The judge could have just ruled, this is so important. I think I may have said this yesterday. The judge could have just ruled on motion 29 and with a letter, by the way. Do you remember, since the case has, since he was charged in July, they asked for bail 3 times and the judge never called them to court to say no. He sent them a letter. They sent them a judge an email. The judge came back and said denied, denied. With this motion 29, this judge, who has already let somebody out on a motion 29 ruling, said, I would like everybody to reconvene in court. He didn't have to do that. He could have just said to his lawyers, no, you've lost this argument. Motion 29 denied. He said, I want everybody back in court. Bring Diddy here. I'm going to rule on it. And the entire media world is here today. Why? I ask you, why? If you don't think he's going to get let out today, why bring us all here? Why? There's something that is going on. There's something that's going on. I did hear a little reason why, but I'm not, I was told, I was sworn to secrecy. So I can't 100% say. I've been trying to kind of give you guys a little bit of hints, but I don't want, you know, you got to keep your sources, so. And if I say it, they'll know who it came from. All right, Temi said, you're handsome. We not worried about Diddy. Thank you, Rob Jones. Loretta said, I like Diddy, but I know he's a drug addict and his influence are very high. However, I want him free because he needs to be on probation and needs somebody to check in on him so he won't fail. All right, makes sense, like that. Free the Tiger King. Cassie said he liked it. Oh, you're probably talking about the nipple thing. Damn, bro, Diddy is on another level. This is just rage bait. You all know that he deserves the time. Okay, I'm not gonna read that out loud. What else? There are videos with him with KIDs, Stop Protecting. Where are they? If you know where the videos are, how come the feds don't know? I would just like to know that. Diddy Glazer. Good morning, Trent. You look amazing. Thank you, Joanna. Bieber. What about Bieber? What? Did Bieber come and testify? Again, people talk about Bieber. Where was Bieber? How come he didn't testify? How do you know? Did Bieber ever say anything? I know the videotapes. I know he was hanging out. I know Usher. It's just, yo, you would not want to be judged that way. And I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. But we need proof. You need evidence. This is America. This is not trial by opinion. This is not trial by, you know, YouTube. This is America. There's a constitution and there's a process, and you're innocent till proven guilty. And just because somebody thinks something or just because somebody says something, what up? You good? And just because somebody says something doesn't make it true. So you have to. One sec. Yeah. You good?
Yeah.
All right, man. Yo, like, were you planning to come? Because I didn't see anybody here yesterday.
I dead asked them out. They said 7 o'clock.
Be careful. I'm online live, so don't say anything.
I got here and there was barely. I was like, yo, I could have slept in.
Exactly. Dude, I came here yesterday. Nobody was here. There was no tents, no CNN, nothing, no press. There was nobody.
Now everybody pulls up.
Exactly.
What if this is a 10-minute hearing?
No, wait, listen, I know, but I'll tell you after. Because even, they were telling me that there was a couple of stations that decided that they didn't want to come, but then something happened yesterday and now everybody's here. But I'll tell you after. It's not going to be 10 minutes. Because even I spoke with somebody inside and they're like, it's longer than you think. Trust me.
Longer?
Yeah.
2 hours?
I don't know, we'll see. Did you go inside yet?
No.
Okay, good.
I refuse to go.
Why?
I'm delirious because I woke up at 4. 3 hours of sleep, woke up at 4.
Go to Starbucks, get a coffee.
I drank 2 coffees and I'm tired.
That's hilarious. All right, sorry guys. Okay, hold on. Okay, Usher. Okay, here you guys talking about Usher and Bieber again. I love how he's not even saying the word KID because he knows Diddy is in deep-ish. No, I'm not saying the word KID because I will get flagged, all right? This is YouTube. I can't say SEX, I can't say DRUG, I can't say KID, all of those things. That's just this is how just our YouTubers talk, so our account just get flagged. I actually got flagged on an account on a video I did last week, so I ain't playing with YouTube here. Somebody says you look scared AF. What are you talking about? Yo, but this is NYC. I don't play around here, right? If you guys watched the show, the live yesterday, yo, I keep my head on a swivel. This is New York, all right? I'm online. I talk my ish online, so yo, I'm very, very careful. So no, I'm not shook. I'm aware because I know where I am. All right, trust me. Not everyone's a fan. Okay, let's go. Know your facts about state court versus Supreme Court. Okay, I don't know what you mean by that, Olympus, but I do know my facts. I've been here almost every day, but I'm willing to discuss whatever you'd like. He was found guilty on 2 charges, so therefore he has to pay for those crimes, period. Tyria, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, Tyria. I totally agree. But what about the 10 people that has been charged? If I'm not mistaken, I think everybody that has been charged with the Mann Act, who actually been found with like multiple women who were actually trafficked, they did not get 5 years. So nobody's saying he shouldn't pay for his crime. Nobody's saying that at all. Today, they're trying to throw that act out and say it doesn't apply to him. But I agree with you. He was found guilty. And next week, should the judge give him what the prosecution wants, 4 to 5 years? Okay, he's guilty. No problem. Did he pay for a male escort to go from Atlanta to New York? Yes. Should he go to jail for 4 years for that? That is a crime that he should pay for. He has been inside for 13 months. And I said this yesterday, and I think I was really good. And if you just put this into perspective, I think the judge made a mistake not letting him out on bail. If Diddy would have gotten bail, okay, and he didn't get arrested last September, so let's say they press charges against him September 24, 2024. Then we go through the trial, and now comes October the 3rd, and let's say he gets sentenced. He would have been outside this whole time. If he would have gotten sentenced to 14 months, or let's say they give him 2 years, if he was out already, everybody would be happy. They'd be like, yes, at least he's doing some time. But because he was held without bail and he's in MDC right now, it's not really in y'all's head that he's in jail. Like, you're not really processing it. He knows because he's living it and he's shackled every day. But it's not really in y'all heads that he's in jail. So if he gets let out on time served, I feel like most people are like, yo, he got off with nothing. No, he got off with doing 14 months. If he got bail and then he got sentenced and had to go in for 14 months, everybody would be happy. And that was a mistake. I feel like the judge should have given him bail. There's people who unalive people and got bail. That he's not a flight risk. He's famous. He can't go anywhere in the world and live. So he was not a flight risk. And we broke down yesterday of why the judge didn't give him bail. They thought he was a danger to society, but let's not even get into that. You can watch yesterday's show. But I feel like just for the society at large, if he would have gotten bail and then now October the 3rd get sentenced and then go to jail for 14 months, it would have been different. But don't get it twisted. Diddy has been in jail. He has served time for his crime. He has. You're a Diddy supporter? I am not a Diddy supporter, and I can tell you're not a daily listener. I'm not a Diddy supporter. The same way how I'm not a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter. My job is to present the facts to you guys. I may give you my opinion, but my opinion is based on facts. It's based on receipts. I don't talk to you guys about my emotions and my feeling. I don't know Diddy. Diddy is not my friend. I don't hang out with Diddy. Diddy's not my boy. But I'm here every day bringing you guys what the facts are. So because I say I feel like somebody should get let out, it's based on these facts, not based on my emotions. I'm not a supporter of anybody. That's not what I do. Somebody said, come to think of it, I'm pretty sure Diddy would have placed a large order of oil. Okay, I don't know what that is all about. All right, let me stay on. I mean, everybody's still outside, so. Anyways, I like to get my front seat in there, so. I'm gonna stay on maybe 5 more minutes. Somebody said 85% is deaf and, okay, I'm not going to say that. Are you on his payroll? No, I am not on Diddy's payroll. I'm on YouTube's payroll. So support the channel, subscribe, and sign up to my memberships. And also clink up and sign up for Aura too. All right, I'm just a YouTuber, man. Kim said, good morning, Kim. Love the interaction. Thank you, Tez. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I love parlaying with y'all. Sharon Carter said, federal, huh? Where are the files? Feds is so upfront when there's files, then federal is not been right for a while. Somebody said that I was a joke. Thank you very much. Sean Combs needs to be in prison for 30 years. Again, I would like to hear the argument. I just presented my case as the defense. Present your case as the prosecution. Why does he need to be in jail in 30 years? I would love for them to allow me to have you guys bring on instead of talking. Like I'd like for you guys to come on and voice your opinion and discuss. Kappa told me to shut up. All right, thank you very much, Kappa. You could just log off, by the way, if you don't want to hear me. You don't have to be here. All right, I think somebody is gonna come around. Look what's going on here. Let's see here. See there, that's TMZ, the black girl on her phone. She's from TMZ. I feel like maybe his mom or some people are gonna be starting to come soon. Whenever all the cameras are out, do you see across the street? Look. See? Yeah, it's going down, bro. It's going down. More people are showing up. When you see more and more people from his family showing up, that means that something's going down. People are on their cell phones. Yo, you guys keep it locked, man. All right, let me go back to the chat. Somebody said I'm different. Somebody said dark-skinned Drake. Y'all are hilarious. Yo, I was walking on the street yesterday and somebody yelled out in their car, yo, Drake! Give me a break. I don't feel like I look like Drake at all. Drake has a point. Poor man Drake. Why are we talking about Drake here in this chat, people? I would like to know. How come when you talk, you don't sound black? That is the most ignorant comment I have ever heard in my life. How do you sound black? I would like to know that. I really hate that. It's like, oh, you don't sound Jamaican. What is that? Anyways. Mann Act shouldn't be thrown out. It needs to remain as evidence. All right, Olympus, if you agree with that. I would like to know how you would feel if you knew somebody that went online, picked out somebody who they liked. Again, prostitution is illegal, but picked out somebody online, just thought they were just hiring a prostitute for the night, and all of a sudden, by the way, the charge, if you get caught with a prostitute, is like, whatever, no jail time, you get probation, maybe like 100 hours community service. You know, how many people you know that have been sent to prison for prostitution? So just imagine you're just online, you're like, oh, I like this guy or girl. Like, okay, cool, you're in Philly, cool. I'm driving up. The cops bust in and catch you with a prostitute, like, okay, cool. They send you to jail, you get no bail. You're in MDC for 14 months, and then now you might go to jail for 5 years because you hired a prostitute from Philadelphia that drove 45 minutes to come see you at a hotel. There's nothing else to think about. There's nothing else. Don't think about Cassie, don't think about Jane, don't think about Usher, don't think about Bieber. Just think about the facts. That's what you need to do. You need to pull your emotions out of it. Hey. What's up, brother? You good?
Why didn't you tell me you was in town, man?
Come on, well. Next time. I only got in yesterday, though. All right, man. We'll talk inside. All right. That was Diddy's sister and Diddy's brother-in-law. Okay. Who are big fans of my show, by the way. Big supporters. And this is what I like, too. They're fair. They hear what I say about Diddy. They hear me giving commentary, etc. or whatever, and they're like, yo, we respect that you talk about the facts, right? We talk about the facts, we talk about their opinion. When Maureen Comey has a great day and a prosecution and it's not looking good, I'm like, yo, it's not looking good for Diddy. You know, or when it's opposite and Maureen Comey is not doing a good job, I say it. So I keep it real. I'm on nobody's payroll, I'm on nobody's side. And I think people respect that. All right, so like I said, see, I knew the family was coming up, so I think I'm gonna be going in soon now. Okay, let me get to the end. I'm skipping a lot of comments. Really sorry about that, guys, but I wanna get to the end. Big up yourself. You free Diddy immediately. The time is now. But you forget that the judge gets to review all the evidence and not what's just enough. 100% I said that. The judge gets to say, hey, I get to see everything that was presented, which, I mean, I don't know. I guess we have no control over the law, right? But, you know, you let me know if you think that's fair. So, you know, the jury makes a decision and the judge at sentencing gets to say, I heard Kid Cudi say that he thinks you did that to his car. The prosecution, the defense cross-examined you. You didn't have proof. You didn't have him on camera. When you asked him if he did that to your car, he denied it. So, but the judge gets to say, I'm going to consider that in sentencing. If you had a sentencing for transporting somebody from Philly to New York, and somebody came on the stand and said you did something to their car, that they have no evidence, but because they're here testifying, you're going to take that into consideration and be like, you're a danger to society. Just think about that. Even with Cassie, under the forced fraud and coercion, she said, we were on a plane, he showed me one of my freak-off tapes, and he said, do a freak-off tape tonight or I'm going to put this out to the public. I'm not saying I don't believe her, but I'm saying, how do we know that that's true? How do we know that that's true? That's why he did not get convicted for SCX trafficking, forced fraud, and coercion, because they didn't have enough evidence to convict him beyond a reasonable doubt. Somebody said you're pro Diddy or whatever. Speaking English is a color. Thank you, Maria. Speaking English is a color. Wow, totally agree. And the fact that the fact is people in question aren't really prostitutes. So why isn't Cassie in jail? Hey. Good job, Trenty. Let's go. Oh, somebody from India. What up, India? Read the comments, Trent. Why are you so hyped talking about Diddy? I'm always hyped. You clearly don't know me. Every day I'm hyped. This is what I do. Cassie took part. Trump pardon. Free Diddy. Okay. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Sorry that I'm skipping, guys, but I got to go in. There's some people that are showing up that I want to try to get their ear and get some info. I'm going to stay on till exactly 1 hour, okay? So 3 minutes, 30 seconds. Somebody said, okay, I'm not even going to read that. Great show. See you on the next live. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. Keep up the great work. What does talking black sound like? Thank you. I would love to know that. Like, we should have a whole separate, what does talking black sound like? I would really like to know. Let me see if there's anything. Why do you support him? I do not support him. You need to get the algorithming. Double tap the screen. Thank you very much, Strawberry Daiquiri. The judge was furious at the findings. That says a lot. Hey, protect TOL at all costs. All out louders, you have your support. Thank you very much, Nancy. Keep being fair. Thank you, Samantha. Alexander said, Diddy money got Trent. Whatever. Why do you support Diddy? I'm not a Diddy supporter. You defend your case. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Good morning from BMO. BMO, Veronica's in the house. What up, Veronica? Somebody said, contest, don't make it legal. Okay. Support Diddy. All right, 2 minutes. Hey, Trent. I'm trying to see if anybody has anything that I can answer. Hearing the comments is clear. Nobody is listening to what you're saying. Thank you, Cheryl. But don't worry. It's like there's a lot of people on here. There's just people that like to comment to like agitate. So, you know, don't. You got to take the comments with a grain of salt. Read my comments, Trent. Why are you so hyped talking about Diddy? That's Alexander. Okay, I think I covered everything. If I missed anything, let me know. Maria said, thank you, Trent. Facts have been manipulated. What facts? How could they be manipulated? I'm in there hearing it directly from the prosecution. What are you talking about? Oh, Mars is in here? Somebody said, hey, Mars. Where's Mars? Mars, are you in here? Yo, Mars is here. Bam, 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 bam. What up, Mars? We'll see what happens next. What up, Mars is in here. Let's go. Corey Wright says the facts have been manipulated. I read that already. All right, I got 1 more minute and 40 seconds. 1 more minute and 40 seconds. All right, yeah, people are starting to walk inside. Okay, I just want that 1 hour. Come on, ticker. Let's go. An hour, a minute and 30 seconds left. Trent, you are on the right side. Stay strong, brother. Free Diddy. The facts have, okay, Corey keeps on saying the facts have been manipulated. Tasha DJ says, thanks for taking the time. I'm stuck at work and I feel I'm there because Trent is there. Thank you, brother Trent. Let us know. Appreciate you. Corey Wright keeps on talking about the facts, but whatever. We're just going to ignore him. What time you will be back? I don't know. We don't know. We don't know how long this is going to go for. Is it going to be an hour? Is it going to be 2 hours? I don't know. I heard the word on the street is that it might be a little bit longer than what people are saying. So we'll see. Trent, have a good day. Thank you very much. Have a good day too. Somebody said you are doing great. Okay, 1 more minute. Get our salutes in. Get our Jamaican. Bah, 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 bah. We back at the Diddy trial, y'all. Let's go. All right, let me pack up. Put all the stuff away. It was raining, but at least I got to do this without an umbrella. I had this horrible like blue umbrella, but at least It didn't rain on me. 30 more seconds, y'all. Yo, we got some Jamaican flags in there. Let's go. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, Rule 29. Today is Rule 29. We'll see. We will find out what is going on with Rule 29 today. Let me just unplug this phone. Yeah, today we find out what happens with Rule 29. Diddy could walk out of court today unscathed, people, with no charges. We will see what happens. Thank you so much for tuning in. I love you guys dearly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will see you the minute it wraps, all right? I'll be back today. Love y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.